Hey y'all, it's Carter here with CB Home Solution. In this video, we are going over, is probate required? When is probate required? How do you know if you can avoid it? And I'm going to deep dive into the guide that we put together for you. Now, you should be receiving this guide any minute in your email inbox. Remember to check spam if you do not see it in the next 2 to 5 minutes. But a little bit of background on me before we jump into the actual guide. So, like I had mentioned, my name is Carter Crowley, owner of CB Home Solutions, and I operate a business here in the Wisconsin area that purchases properties from owners such as yourself. Now, what we've done is we've bought a significant amount of inherited property since 2015 or 2015, 2016, since we started and founded the business. And when I say we, myself, my family members, it's a family-owned business. But with this probate guide, we continually get questions. Carter, how do I know if I need to file probate? Can I avoid probate? Owners that thought they could avoid probate, but then they later had to file in order to sell the place. So I'm going to deep dive into that. And again, you can download this for free. It's in your email, and I appreciate you guys watching this. So without further ado, let me share my screen with you. And this is 100% uncut, unfiltered. So if I screw something up, I apologize in advance. And I have 2 monitors up, so if you see me not looking at the camera, that is the reasoning why. But let's zoom in a little bit on this screen just so you guys can read this a little bit better. So I'll do a very highlighted version of this, but it just goes over the things you should be aware of in regards to probate, in regards to filing probate, not filing probate, so on and so forth. So first things first, what is probate? Legal process of administering a deceased person's estate. It ensures assets are distributed according to their will or state law and settles any outstanding debts. So mortgages, medical bills, that sort of thing. Now, when is probate required? Probate's required the deceased owner's assets solely in their name exceeding $50,000. So if a home's worth $100,000, you will most likely need probate. Now, if there is no designated beneficiary or joint owner for assets like bank accounts, deceased owned real estate in their name only, specifically meaning it is solely owned by mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, relative, whatever the case is, the individual that you're looking to inherit the property from, if it's solely owned in their name. And then personal property, such as vehicles, lacks a proper title transfer mechanism. So I'll dive into this later in the video, but I'll go over the specific requirements if you know you need to file probate or how you go about filing. When can it be avoided? If the estate value is $50,000 or less. So to give you a recent example, we are buying a house down in Milwaukee right now. The property is less than $50,000. So what we have to do is we have to file one of these, a small estate affidavit, just again signifying that the estate value is less than $50,000 total. It has to be signed by all heirs, and then it can be recorded in order to stop the probate process from having to be filed or having to file probate altogether. Or if assets were placed in a revocable living trust, property was owned with joint tenancy, or a transfer on death designation. So this right here, the transfer on death, is if a relative of yours or whoever you inherited the property from, if they had a deed recorded, a transfer on death deed recorded that states, when I pass away, it will be transferred to heir number 1 or heir number 2 or whomever it is. If they had that recorded, then you can avoid probate. But if they did not have that recorded, then you will most likely need to file probate, which can become a little bit pricey. And then a marital property agreement allows assets to pass directly to a surviving spouse. Now, what type of probate exists? It goes over informal, formal, ancillary, all of these other things. This would be a little bit deeper dive, but it at least provides you with the context of what you could research, what you could Google. An informal typically does not require any attorney involvement. Formal will require attorney involvement. So if you can get by without that, that might be the cheaper option. So now here's the question. Mother passed away with a house in her name. Do I need probate? Most likely, yes. Unless the house was jointly owned with rights of survivorship, a transfer on death deed was filed, or the total value of the estate is $50,000 or less. So you start to see the resemblances and the common circumstances of when probate can be avoided or when it needs to be filed. Now, how do I check if a transfer on death deed exists? You can check the county court records, ask a title company to, or go down and talk with the register of deeds in your county, review personal records such as legal documents or a safe deposit box, or consult a real estate attorney or title company, as I previously mentioned. Now, how do I verify if real estate was owned with rights of survivorship? Check the property deed. This is simply going down again, calling the register of deeds, or going down there, driving down there in your local county and talking to the register of deeds. And then look for specific ownership terms such as joint tenancy with the rights of survivorship, tenancy by entirety, or tenants in common. And I kind of explain that, or consult a local title company on that regard. So is probate ever required for property owned with rights of survivorship? So meaning you inherit it from your spouse, or you inherit it from someone else in your family. Generally no, because ownership automatically transfers. However, probate might still be needed if all owners have passed away, making the property part of the final estate, or the title is unclear, disputed, requiring court involvement. So if an heir is disputing ownership on record, this happens with families quite a bit, then probate might need to be filed. It depends on circumstances. And again, consult with a real estate attorney. If you need one, you can contact us at the email that we had already replied to you, or down below, I'll get into the information on how to reach out to us if you have an interest in selling a property that you own. Now, how do I update ownership when rights of survivorship apply? You will need a death certificate. You will have to file the death certificate with the county of the register of deeds, and then complete any required forms such as affidavit of survivorship. And these can all be found online or at the register of deeds when you go there, or call them. And then Wisconsin probate, specific probate considerations, goes over these three, and then where to file these documents. Again, the register of deeds. A lot of the stuff is filed online nowadays, but if you do a simple Google search for Wisconsin register of deeds, or your local county, say Winnebago County, Milwaukee County, Dane County, whatever county that you are currently residing in, or the property is residing in, then that is the register of deeds you will want to reach out to, the one that you will want to contact. And then lastly, so on this very last page of the guide that we sent out, or the checklist, is how to get in touch with us, because we are actively searching for properties to purchase. Now, if you're considering selling the property, we would love to provide you a no obligation offer, or we can at least give you some insight as to what you should do or what you might want to do. And if you need a little bit more information, you can, of course, feel free to email back and forth. I will send you our inherited property checklist. It's a 14-page checklist that goes over all the different miscellaneous details. But the way to contact us is, here's our phone number, 215-4548. You can call us, you can text us, you can reply back to the email, or you can even go to our website, wihomesale.com. And then we will reach out to have a conversation. We can provide you some insight as to what it looks like to sell a property as is, without having to list it for sale on the market, pay all those miscellaneous closing costs. And it's a very simple process. Does it always result in the highest amount of money in your pocket? It does not. You are sacrificing price for a little bit more speed, convenience, ease of sale. But for you as a property owner or an inherited property owner, it might be the best route to go. That's totally up for you to decide. And I will send you as much information as I can on the process, just so you can make that decision a little bit easier. So if you have questions, please feel free to let me know. If you are considering selling your house, feel free to fill out the form down below on this page. We will reach out to you just as soon as we can. And I look forward to having a conversation soon.